How do I start my own business?
Being my own brand would be totally legit.
I want to be the next Gary Vee.
My dream is to be on Shark Tank.
I'm just gonna Google it.
I mean, I'm awesome at social media. What could go wrong?
Oh my God.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Learning Curves. This is Kelly Bassetti, and thank you for joining me today for my first solo cast of Learning Curves. I'm really excited to be here today with you. I have so much going on right now. This time of year is so crazy. We are busy here at my agency, CEA, working on a lot of new business deals, and it's been great because we've signed on a lot of very new clients, new different industries that we're going to be working with. So we're really looking forward to 2022. Everything's been super busy, and we can't wait. We have the Outback Bowl coming up in just about 2 weeks or less than 2 weeks, and that's going to be a real exciting day for us as well. And I just launched my first podcast, Learning Curves. Last week, we launched our first one with Robin Carr from Architectural Salvage Bank. And today was the second podcast that we launched with Karen Mace from Model Perfect Designs. And I got to tell you, it was a little nerve-wracking thinking about starting a podcast. How do I get started? What do I do? Am I going to keep up with it? What are people going to think? Are people going to like me? Are people going to hate me? So all these things go through your head, and you kind of, talk yourself out of it, and you talk yourself back into it, and you figure out that this is something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, and I own a studio now, so I definitely need to have a podcast. So I started my podcast, and every single podcast that I do, it gets a little bit better each time. I learn a little bit more each time. So it's all about really diving in and getting started and not being afraid, because everything's always going to get better in the long run. And that's really what my podcast is about today, is to be fearless. Being fearless is, I feel, the key to success. There's so many times that when people are afraid of something, they don't end up doing it. They don't end up following their dreams. And therefore, they miss out on so many opportunities because they were afraid. And the biggest thing is, don't be afraid, and don't even be afraid if you fail, because failure is actually a good thing, because when we fail, we learn. And when we learn, we move on and we do better things from those things that we learned. So it's being fearless is definitely the way to go. And I can tell you that this past year has been a struggle for me and my businesses. Actually, I should say the last 2 years. And I know it's been a struggle for most all of you, that you've been going through COVID and all kinds of changes happening. And it's scary when you're going through those things, and you just have to keep your head up and keep driving through that. And one of the things that I did when we were going through COVID is I dreamed up Second Soul Studios, and I thought there was a need for something like this. Second Soul Studios is a content creation studio, and we focus on video, photography, and podcasting. It's something that my main agency doesn't necessarily specialize in, but the studio does. And it was a dream of mine, something I've been thinking about for quite some time, because I have an extra building next to my main agency, and just wondering, what am I going to do with that? And so finally I'm like, you know what? Why not try it? There's a need for it. There's nothing like this in the Clearwater area. Small businesses need to create content, and we can be that affordable solution to them. So yes, crazy me, during COVID, I started a video content creation studio that at the time nobody could go into because of COVID. But we did it. We launched, and it's been successful. It's honestly every single month things get better, and we're getting more and more clientele coming in. Lots of different industries and different companies have been renting it, and it's just been so successful. And I have a great team behind me, so I'm really, really excited that I decided to follow my dream and push my fears away, because my head could have told me all kinds of different things of all kinds of reasons why I shouldn't do that. You know, super expensive to do a remodel of something where I put a lot of dollars in remodeling, and, you know, getting into some new things that we definitely didn't specialize in with my current agency. And now, you know, we're going to specialize in those things. I'm going to surround myself around people that really know what they're doing to teach us everything that we need to know about running this kind of business. And that's another key to success, is always surround yourself with people that can do it better than you. It's the best experts in the world you want to surround yourself with. That is definitely the key right there. So yeah, we're moving, and we're coming into 2022 with lots of new clients, lots of new rentals. We signed on 2 new podcast shows that we're going to be producing. So I could not be happier on the direction that Second Soul is going in. On the other side of things, my maid agency that I've had for 25 years now, which is CEA, it's had its major, call it going, roller coaster ride, the ups and downs. It's been a little crazy, especially going through the times that we're in right now. I had to go through COVID, and that wasn't so good. And then this following year, it's just a lot of clients not wanting to spend as much money. We've lost some clients, and we've got some new ones. Being afraid of losing our biggest client has always been a fear of mine that we've had for a very long time. But obviously realizing at a certain point that the loss of a big client can actually be a good thing, especially one that you've had for a really long time, because what it can do is it can open up a lot more opportunity for your company. So again, I started to be fearful about this, and the more I had a lot of consultation from people that were cheering me on, saying, it's best to let go and move on. And once I finally got my head in a position that, I was ready to let it go, I really I was at that point able to open myself to a lot more opportunities. I think the universe felt that I was ready to open up the agency to more opportunities. And the more positive I got about the whole situation, the more great things that started happening. So just by changing my mindset, just by being more positive, all of a sudden the universe heard my prayer and everything just started changing. All the things that I wished for my company just started happening just like that. And again, never doubt yourself. When you fear something, always realize that there's something always better around the corner. When one door opens, you could probably have just what happened to us, another 5 or 6 doors open up. And if I was still doing what I was doing before, I wouldn't have had time to take on those other opportunities. And those other opportunities are things that I've been wanting to do for a really long time. And now me and people that work for my agency that work so hard, we're able to create all these new opportunities, working with these new businesses, helping them be successful, helping them with their marketing plans, helping them with their video projects, helping them with their new websites, consulting them on strategy. So much that we can do that we've been wanting to do for a while, but we've just had our hands tied. and afraid of letting go of something that was so big. Like, what are we going to do without that? Well, without that comes other opportunity. So I just thought a lot of times I keep a lot of these things inside. Don't really talk about them a lot unless you're my really close friend or my fiance. I drive him crazy with all my issues and problems. But today I just thought it's a good message to send out there because I know that we all go through this in our businesses, and it's scary. It's really scary when a gorilla goes away. But when they go away, you're either going to get replaced by another one or something else extraordinary is going to happen. And just know that, just work hard, pray hard, and be positive, and the right people will come to you and it will happen. Again, be fearless. That's my message for today, and thank you for joining my solo cast.